Once upon a time, in a kingdom where the stars moved like gears in the sky, there lived a princess named Elara. The kingdom was called Terranvale, and everything in it was powered by time. Clocks lined every tower, every bridge, every carriage. Even the roses opened their petals by the ticking of gears beneath the soil. Elara was the only one born without a ticking heart. Her people whispered that she was out of time. But her father, King Halvern, called her a miracle. He believed she had been born to restore balance to a world too controlled by time. The royal chronomancer, a strange old man named Zephyr, did not agree. A heart that does not tick, he said, will one day stop everything else. Elara grew up curious, lonely, and brave. She could hear silence where others heard rhythm. Sometimes, she'd sneak into the great clock tower at midnight to watch the gears glow with starlight. She wondered who had built the kingdom this way, half machine, half magic. Her tutors told her, the first kings forged time into chains, to keep chaos away. But she felt those chains were choking life itself. One morning, the sun did not rise. The clock stopped all at once. The air hung still, and no bird dared sing. Time has frozen, said Zephyr. Can it be fixed? Elara asked. Only by the heart that lies outside time, he murmured. Everyone turned to her. Me, she whispered. Yes, said the king, trembling. You are the only one who can. The court panicked, fearing both salvation and doom in her small hands. What must I do? She asked Zephyr. Find the clockmaker, he said. The one who built the world. Where? Beyond the edge of time. So Elara set out that very night. The stars above her pulsed faintly, flickering like dying embers. The moon hung frozen mid-sky. She took only her father's compass and her mother's silver locket. The compass pointed nowhere, spinning wildly as if lost. But Elara walked on, trusting her heart instead. She crossed the silent fields where wheat stood unmoving. She passed through towns where people were frozen mid-laughter. She whispered, I will save you, though they could not hear. The wind didn't blow, but her courage did. At the edge of the kingdom, she found the mirror gate. It shimmered like still water, reflecting endless versions of herself. Beyond here lies the place where time was born, said a voice. It came from a boy standing beside the gate. He wore tattered clothes and carried a broken pocket watch. Who are you? Elara asked. A thief, he said. Of time. You stole it. Borrowed, he said with a smirk. My name's Finn. Can you take me through? She asked. Maybe, he said, but I'll need something in return. I have nothing of value. Your heartbeat, he said. It doesn't tick. Exactly. It's priceless. Fine, she said boldly. Take it. If you can. Finn laughed. Brave. I like you. He touched the mirror gate, and it rippled open. Together, they stepped through. On the other side, time flowed backward. Stars unlit themselves. Rivers ran uphill. Elara gasped, feeling the world breathe in reverse. Where are we? She asked. The hollow hours, Finn said. Where broken moments go. Is the clockmaker here? Somewhere at the end. Then let's find him. You really think time wants to be saved? You don't? Maybe time's tired of ticking, Finn muttered. Maybe it deserves rest. Then the world ends, she said. Maybe that's mercy. No, Elara said firmly. There's always another way. Finn stared at her for a long moment. You sound like my sister, he said. What happened to her? She ran out of time. They traveled through deserts of frozen sand, through seas made of shattered hours. They met shadows that spoke in memories. Give us your moments, they hissed. Never, Elara said. Finn drew his dagger of light and scattered them. You're too kind for this place, he told her. Kindness is stronger than time, she said. He smiled. We'll see. They pressed onward. Finally, they reached a mountain shaped like a clock's face. At its summit stood an enormous door of brass and glass. This is it, said Finn. The forge of ours. Are you coming? She asked. Only you can enter, he said. Why? Because I am part of time's debt. Finn. Go. Before the last second falls. Elara stepped through the door. Inside was a vast chamber filled with floating gears, glowing chains, and streams of golden sand. In the center stood a giant clock, silent, broken. A figure knelt before it, hammering sparks into its core. Clockmaker, she asked. He looked up, ancient, tired, eyes full of galaxies. You shouldn't be here, he said. I came to fix time. It doesn't want fixing. Then it will die. Maybe it should. People depend on it. People have forgotten how to live without it. Then teach me how to mend both. The clockmaker studied her face. You have no ticking heart. Does that make me less? No, he said softly. It makes you free. Then use me. You'd sacrifice yourself for them. Yes. Why? Because love doesn't measure time. The clockmaker closed his eyes. Then perhaps you are what time was meant to be. He opened his hands, revealing a small crystal gear. This is the core cog. Place it inside your heart. Will it hurt? Only once. Then I'm ready. She pressed the gear to her chest. Light burst through her veins. Every moment in existence flowed through her. Births, deaths, laughter, grief, all at once. She gasped but didn't let go. Tick, whispered the clockmaker. Talk, whispered destiny. And her heart began to beat, for the first time. Time surged forward again. The world outside breathed. In the castle, clocks whirred back to life. The sun rose, golden and proud. Birds sang mid-flight. People unfroze, tears of joy falling. King Halvern wept, whispering her name. But Elara was gone from their sight. She stood now in the forge, glowing like a star. The clockmaker bowed. You have restored what I could not. Where is Finn? She asked. He waits at the edge of time. Then I'll go to him. If you leave, your heart may stop again. Then so be it. She turned and ran through the golden halls. Outside, Finn stood watching the stars rewind. You did it, he said softly. We did, she corrected. The clocks are moving again. And what about you? I'm still learning to move forward, she said. Will you go home? I have no home without you, she said. Finn looked away, ashamed. You don't know who I am, he said. Then tell me. I'm the first hour, the one that began everything. Your time. The fragment of it, yes. The thief who stole eternity from himself. Then stay. Let's live. If I stay, he said, the world stops again. Then we're trapped by the same curse. Maybe, he said, but at least now we understand it. She touched his hand. It felt both warm and cold, real and infinite. What if we meet again, in another age? Then I'll recognize you by your silence, he said. And I'll recognize you by your ticking. They smiled through tears. Goodbye, princess, he whispered. Goodbye, time, she said. He vanished into the wind. Elara returned to her kingdom with a changed heart. The people cheered her as savior. But she only smiled gently and said, time belongs to all of us now. She freed the clocks from their chains. She let the flowers bloom when they wished. The rivers flowed as they pleased. For the first time, life wasn't ruled by seconds but by souls. And the kingdom thrived. Zephyr knelt before her throne. You have done what no mage could, he said. You've untangled time itself. Not untangled, she said. Taught it to breathe. The king hugged her tightly. Your mother would be proud. I only followed her lesson, Elara said. What lesson? That every moment is a gift, not a gear. The people rejoiced. Statues were raised in her honor. Songs were sung in every clock tower. Yet Elara spent her nights gazing at the stars. They tick softly now, like a heartbeat. Are you watching, Finn? She would whisper. The stars shimmered brighter in answer. Decades passed. Elara grew wiser, her hair turning silver like moonlight. She built schools, gardens, and bridges across ages. Under her rule, peace endured. One winter night, the clock stopped again, just for a breath. Elara smiled. You're early, she whispered to the silence. A familiar warmth surrounded her. Did you miss me? Asked a voice. She turned and saw Finn, unchanged, radiant. Always, she said. It's time, he said. For what? For forever. She took his hand. The palace glowed with golden light. Time bowed before them. Will my people be safe? She asked. Always, said Finn. You've set them free. Then I'm ready. Together, they stepped into the stars. The kingdom awoke the next morning to find her throne empty. Only her crown remained, ticking softly like a clock. The people called it the heart of Elara. They said it would beat until love itself ceased to exist. Generations later, her legend became sacred. The children of Taranvale learned her story as their first lullaby. Once there was a princess who gave her heart to time, their parents told them. And in return, time gave the world back its soul. The great clock tower still chimed her name every dawn. The roses bloomed freely now, unafraid of the ticking earth. The stars turned slower, gentler. Even the winds whispered her melody. The kingdom never forgot. Artists painted her as both woman and clockwork angel. Poets wrote verses of her silent courage. Travelers claimed to feel her presence when they paused between moments. She lives in the stillness, they said, where seconds hold their breath. The festival of timelessness was held each year in her honor. People would stop all clocks for one night. They would laugh, dance, and live freely, without counting. This is for you, princess, they'd say to the stars. The stars would shimmer like laughter in reply. Centuries rolled on. Kingdoms rose and fell. Machines changed, skies shifted, yet her tale remained. Some said she and Finn became constellations. Others believed they were the rhythm of the universe itself. And when storms passed, rain always fell in perfect rhythm, as if she were still conducting it. The people of Taranvale grew to understand what she'd taught them. Time is not a cage, it is a song. And every life adds a note to it. The melody continues. On the 1000th anniversary of her birth, the clock stopped once more. Just for a heartbeat. And in that silence, everyone heard her voice. Live now, it said. Don't count your moments, or fill them. Tears filled the eyes of an entire kingdom. The bells rang again, brighter than ever. For a moment, all of Taranvale felt infinite. The stars above spun like golden gears. The wind carried her song. Elara, it whispered. The princess of time. And so her story lived on, not as myth, but as memory. The kingdom built a garden where her clock had once stood. Flowers bloomed in every season. Children played among the statues. Lovers promised forever under her starlit clock tower. And every night, the world paused for a second. Just long enough to remember her heartbeat. Just long enough to thank her. Because she had taught them to live between seconds. To find beauty in pauses. To cherish silence as much as song. She had taught them that time serves love, not the other way around. And so love ruled the ages. Empires crumbled, languages changed. But her truth endured. Be timeless in your kindness, her statue read. And eternal in your grace. The people of Terranvale never forgot. Because Elara had given them eternity inside every heartbeat. And in the farthest reaches of the sky, two lights still danced, one gold, one silver. The princess and the thief of time. Forever together, beyond hours and ages. Their laughter became the rhythm of the stars. Their love, the quiet between seconds. Their story, the pulse of the universe. And when all clocks fall silent again, she will whisper one last time, don't count your days, and make your days count. And the world will tick on, forever grateful to its timeless princess.